So first, like I said, welcome to North Country Studio Workshops. We are really excited that after a year hiatus due to COVID, we will be having our next set of workshops in Bennington from January 24th to 29th, 2003. So coming right up. Next slide. A little about North Country. I see a lot of familiar faces out there, but if you don't know us, we were founded in 1993, and we meet typically every other January, providing advanced level workshops for professional and non-professional craftspeople and artists. Workshop topics and faculty change each season, offering a variety of intensive and collaborative experiences. North Country Studio Workshops is a nonprofit arts organization. You might note that we're located in New Hampshire. Our event takes place in Vermont, and we serve Northern New England, the entire region and beyond. We've had really guests from all over the country and other parts of the world as well. Our mission is very simple: inspiring the creativity and challenging the skill of accomplished craftspeople and artists. A little about the program itself. North Country Studio Workshops invites established and emerging artists and craftspeople to take part in an advanced level arts education program. This professional development event of 13 workshops offers a hands-on learning experience taught by faculty who have achieved significant recognition in their fields. We meet for 5 days in the foothills of the Green Mountains of Vermont at Bennington College, where living, dining, and working take place in the intimacy of the campus. You will have the freedom to focus on developing new approaches to a familiar medium, or to apply your background as an artist or craftsperson to a new area. So it's a real place for discovery. The photo here is a group at our last workshop, and you can see everybody learning and working together collaboratively. Next slide, Jessica. So I am going to go through our workshops. So the 2023 workshops and faculty. I'll read the workshop descriptions, and then we'll just kind of see the lovely photo of the faculty, and I might highlight a few things, but I won't read their whole description. All of this information you can find online at our website, and we'll have all that information at the end as well. I'm going to say before I start that I've practiced name pronunciation, but if I get anybody's wrong, I apologize them in advance. They're not here, but I just want to put that out there. So Gasali Adeyemo is the Fiber 3D faculty member this year. He's teaching traditional Yoruba, Adire, Aliko, and tie-dye with indigo. And with him, you can discover these techniques with a master of the craft, a real master of the craft, experience the intricate patterns while learning the history and meaning behind the traditional designs. You will learn how to prepare an indigo vat and cassava paste resist. As you dye your finished pieces in deep blue indigo, learn the importance and history of the indigo dye. It's open to all. And then we can go on to the next one. And just here's Gasali, originally from Nigeria. I believe he lives in New Mexico now. He learned these traditional crafts from his mother, and he now conducts workshops and exhibits throughout the world. We're really excited to have him. Next one, Jessica. So Vicky, blanking on how to pronounce her name right. Vicky Asigwade, I think I have that right. Vicky Asigwade is the Fiber 2D layered fabric assemblage. And here, everything you see is examples of their work. Learn many techniques of creating a truly unique and stunning art piece with multiple layers and textures of fabric. Create a base covered with beautiful overlays of fabric surrounded by shapes that extend outward, giving the piece added shape, dimension, and excitement. The final piece will hang on the wall. No sewing is involved. Perfect for beginner through advanced artists. I'd like to point out that we work really closely with our faculty to determine what level artist all this is, any workshop is for. So we try to be really clear about that. But we also trust that each artist really knows themselves and will understand where they fit in. If you ever have any questions, please reach out to us, and we can always contact the faculty for you and work with their liaison to find out if it really fits you. But we know we have a lot of really highly skilled artists amongst us. So it's often okay to try something new and bring your skills to a new medium. I just wanted to point that out. All right, go ahead, Jessica. And here's Vicki. She's a fantastically experienced artist. She teaches through various art schools and has been working in 2 and 3D art pieces for quite a long time. We're thrilled to have her. Velma Bolyard is for paper making. North Country Shifu experience, the Japanese tradition of spun and woven paper textile called shifu. Make deep connections to place through text, textile, book, and paper. Haptic experiences will include experimental mark making, hand spinning, loom building, weaving, book construction, paper making, dyeing, and stitching. You will leave with a wonderful book and a passel of techniques that you can add to your paper and fiber toolkit. Requires dexterity. She pointed out like hand dexterity is quite important, and it's open to all. And as I go through these, if you have any questions or it's making you think of something you'd like to know more, feel free to pop those in the chat and we'll either answer them now or after this presentation. So here's Velma. Her work is grounded in the place she calls home, which is northern New York State. She's currently working in paper and spun and woven paper textiles. She's taught shifu, hand paper making, and book arts in North America, Australia, and she's been an adjunct professor as well. We're thrilled to have her. Go ahead, Jessica. Georgia Deal, printmaking, the unique print. Again, all the images you see are from the artists themselves, and it's just an example of the work they do. For artists interested in learning a variety of monotype and monoprint techniques, we'll make a one-of-a-kind, unique works on paper. Through demonstrations and example artwork, we will expand our visual vocabulary as we develop expressions of our own individual ideas and reflections. Familiarity with working in a print studio and using a press is helpful, but not required. And here's more on Georgia. Very accomplished as well, which I think you will see from all of our faculty, very accomplished and have been working for a really long time. She's done a lot of workshops and taught in a lot of places, as well as exhibited widely. Lynn Duria is clay hand building, slab structures. Explore form and scale utilizing hand-built clay with an emphasis on slab construction and sculptural forms. These explorations include idea generation methods, pattern making, and support systems for simple and complex structures. Lynn will demonstrate the slab sling, her invention for drying large-scale pieces. I think slab sling sounds just fantastic. I just like the name of it. Finishing focuses on low-fire electric kiln firing with an emphasis on creating rich layered surfaces. Experience with clay is recommended. And here's Lynn. Lynn has been widely published and has exhibited quite a lot, both nationally and internationally. And you can also see that she was a professor at Appalachian State University, and she now works in Maine. Mary Hetmansberger, she's basketry, hard and soft sculptural, endless possibilities. Utilizing a wide range of materials, explore how traditional basketry techniques can be used to create both hard and soft sculptural forms. You will be invited to use roof construction, twining and coiling as metals and other materials, mixed materials. The class will allow you to work at your own skill level and steer your own creative direction, open to all. I think that's something else you will notice from a lot of our workshops, that they're very much inviting artists to come in, knowing that our artists are experienced for the most part, to come in and bring a lot of themselves and what they already know to take the skills they're learning in these workshops and really expand them. So more information on Mary. She's been teaching for 40 years, both in the United States and internationally. And she's done a lot of writing as well as worked for PBS, and exhibited widely in the United States and internationally. Bunny Harvey, drawing, painting, expanding your visual vocabulary. Bunny says, let go of familiar expectations in your drawings and paintings while expanding your visual vocabulary. We start with direct observation of objects and spaces within the studio, and then rigorously explore various versions of your skills and sensory perceptions. These experiments and exercises with drawing and painting can invigorate and expand your image-making vocabulary. Some experience in oil painting or similar media and basic observational drawing skills are essential. And more about Bunny. She grew up in New York City and Vermont, and she is currently in Vermont, I believe. I'm right about that. She taught painting for 39 years at Wellesley College, and her work is based on observational and awareness using all the senses and grounded in both familiar and invented landscapes. And Anne Havel, she's doing jewelry, elevate your enamels, explore the use of torch firing to create line and image, learn to apply successive layers of liquid, painting, and powdered enamels with multiple techniques. We will use under maturity and over firing to build and preserve drawings and layers in a final piece. Learn to see your work in different ways as we facilitate planning and enameling. Some experience is recommended, but not essential. And there's Anne, who had been a CPA, but she has been an independent studio artist and national workshop instructor for over 20 years. She has her work in lots of permanent collections and private, as well as with private collectors, and has been really active in the arts throughout her career. Jennifer McClure is going to be bringing us photography, creating personal stories. Learn how photography can help you make sense of your world and reveal personal patterns. We will cover strategies of using your emotions and experiences to create a compelling photographic story. This class will teach you how to translate your interior narratives and passions into concrete photographs, focusing on subject matter, composition, lighting, and editing. Knowledge of Lightroom, a plus but not essential. Basic digital photography skills are encouraged. And more about Jennifer. I know she lives in New York City. And she's a fine art photographer who uses herself and her experiences as subject matter to explore the creation of personal mythology and the agency of identity. Her work's been featured in publications such as Vogue, Nat Geo Travel, and the New Republic. Julie Snidel, Cold Wax, discovering oil and cold wax. Julie says, break free from expectation and discover oil painting without brushes or smelly solvents. With pigment sticks as our primary paint and gold and cold wax medium, we will build up layers of paint using a variety of methods while discovering new tools and working to create rich and authentic small works on paper and chessboard. Open to all. And more about Julie. She's been working in the medium since 2004, and she instructs quite a bit and has received numerous awards. And her work can be found in private collections and in public spaces nationwide. Chris Staley, Clay Wheel, making pots personal. How do we learn to ask questions that get us closer to making pots that are uniquely our own? This and more will be explored through demonstrations and group exercises, leading us to a deeper understanding of our work. The workshop will involve individual discussion with the instructor. Chris says, with an open heart and a seeker's spirit, all are welcome in this shared search for meaning. Basic wheel experience is helpful. So a little bit about Chris. He's a distinguished professor of art at Penn State University. He's got numerous awards on his CV, and he has taught at many different schools and received a number of grants. Catherine Stanek, sculpture, modeling with cement. Review the fundamentals of working with cement, including various tools and techniques for creating free-form sculptures in concrete. Learn how to achieve different finishes, colors, textures, and how to build sculptures by hand without investment in expensive equipment. You are encouraged to bring a model or a sketch to sculpt in cement. Familiarity with plaster and clay modeling is helpful, but not required. And then we see here, Catherine graduated from Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Art in 2006. She's received a number of grants and recognitions, and she recently installed her largest public commission for the NFL Hall of Fame in Ohio. And then our last artist is, I'm going to look down to make sure I pronounce it right, Maria Thupuru, I apologize, Book Arts, The Artful Box. So construct a modified clamshell box, and you can see examples of it above. A box can enhance its contents or become an art piece on its own. Learn how to build a specific structure using a variety of decorative and assembly techniques. You will be encouraged to experiment and create components of the project, drawing from personal inspiration. No special skills are required, just patience with a few techniques that will require some accuracy. And then here's Mary. She creates artist books, boxes, and prints with an emphasis on play. She is a bookbinder under the name of Spring Leaf Press at her studio in Bloomington, Indiana, and she exhibits her work internationally. It's collected nationally, and she enjoys teaching workshops throughout the country. So that is our lineup of faculty and workshops for 2023. We're excited to have them all. Now I'm going to be going over some of the details of how you can get involved and how you can be part of all of this. So next slide, Jessica. So first is registration is going to open on June 15th. 2022, so that's coming up in just over a month. It is going to be online only this year. So we're going to have our registration all through our webpage. If for any reason that sounds like a challenge to anybody, do feel free to reach out to us well before that date, and we'll see what we can do to work with you. But we've tried to make it really easy. You can just go online, press your workshop, and then register for it from there. After that, you'd be hearing from our registrar to finish the process. But once you put in your deposit, you're considered registered, and we just need to get some final details. So registration will include an application fee of $50, and that's non-refundable. A tuition deposit of $150 is also due at that time. That deposit is deducted from your final payment, so that's part of your tuition. This year, residents will pay $1,390 for tuition, room and board. So room and board includes dinner on Tuesday all your meals through Sunday at lunch. And commuters will be $1,070. So that's your tuition again, but then just lunch and dinner because you'll be staying somewhere off campus and can do breakfast on your own. There's also materials fees that we do not charge during registration. For each workshop, you will see there's a materials fees link on the website, and it will list the materials you're requested to bring, and then also things you might have to pay for, what the fee will be when you have to pay for things. It varies for every single workshop. The first one you'll see is an estimate because things can change, especially how prices are now. We will update you with another estimate closer to the workshop, and then we won't charge you for that until the after the last day of the workshops or during the workshops themselves. But I just want everybody to be aware of that. So that's the general registration process. I'm happy to answer more questions about that when we go through the next few slides. But we've tried to make it really simple and straightforward for everybody. Next slide, Jessica. Another thing we're really excited about this year is scholarships. We've worked really hard on our scholarships. We're proud to offer numerous scholarships in order to make our workshops more accessible to a diversity of artists. Each scholarship has a different criteria, and you're encouraged to apply for as many as you qualify through a single application designed to reduce the labor for the applicant. Applicants need to submit this scholarship application along with a $50 application fee. So this year, in an effort to make our scholarship program more accessible, we've eliminated the $150 registration deposit during this process. Please note, all applications will still need to register, but we'll deal with that with the different folks once they receive their scholarship. If you receive a scholarship, specific registration instructions will follow. For anyone who doesn't receive a scholarship, they'll need to go through that registration process, which would be June 15th. Your $50 scholarship application fee will be applied to your final balance. So that will be used as well if you come to the program. Scholarship applications are due on the 6th of June, Monday, June 6th. That is earlier this year than we've ever done it before. Applicants will be notified of their status by Monday, June 13th. So we're doing this so that we don't have an issue where folks would apply to have a scholarship in a certain workshop, but that's already filled up because we've opened registration already. So this allows scholarship applicants to get their name in there, to go through the process, and then they know by June 13th. So if they do not receive a scholarship, they can still go in and register on their own on June 15th when we open registration. Just an important note, all participants at North Country need to be 18 years or above, so that includes scholarship applicants. And again, the deadline is June 6th, 2022. So that is coming up, and that's all already on our website, and the application is already live. Quick overview of our scholarships. Like I said, we've worked really hard on this year, and we have quite a number of them. So we have the North Country Studio Workshop Scholarships. This year, we're going to offer 3 of those, and those cover full tuition, not room and board, but full tuition. That one is available to a wide diversity of artists, so I really encourage folks to apply to that. We fund that scholarship through the silent auction that we hold at the previous conference. So our participants and people coming to the conference are helping to fund that. And I'm really thrilled that we're able to offer 3 this year. New this year, we have the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Access Scholarship. Like I said, it's new and it's made possible by a generous donor. It acknowledges our commitment to expand participation of artists from traditionally underrepresented communities. The DEIA scholarship will cover full tuition, room and board, and is one strategy we are initiating to make our community more diverse, equitable, inclusive, and accessible. Again, that's one scholarship for full room, board, and tuition. Also new this year is the Jackie Abrams Legacy Scholarship. It covers full tuition, room and board, and honors the legacy of basket maker and teacher Jackie Abrams. This scholarship is for a studio artist who has chosen to make their living through art, craft, and or teaching, and who is in need of financial assistance. We're really thrilled to be able to offer this scholarship this year. We've done a lot of work to raise funds for this, and we're really honored to be able to work with Jackie Abrams before she passed away last year in establishing this scholarship. So thank you to everybody who's here who may have helped us establish this. We're really thrilled to be able to offer it. The Kira Fournier Scholarship provides, this year it will provide 2 full scholarships for tuition, room, and board, and it's for an established studio artist in order to promote their artistic growth. So you'll see that there's some differentiation about who these scholarships are for. And again, we encourage you to apply to as many as them through one form. You don't have to fill out the form 6 times or anything that might apply to you. This will allow our scholarship committee to really pick the right scholarship for the right applicant. And lastly, we have the Young Artist Scholarship. It covers full tuition, room, and board for an artist under the age of 35 working in any medium. Again, all scholarships are June 6th. We really encourage you to apply and to share this information with other people so we can get more new faces and support our old friends at North Country. Next slide. We also have studio assistants. That application is not up yet, but we will open it once we open registration. The studio assistants are responsible for assisting the instructor, including studio setup the day before the workshop begins, and are expected to be familiar with the general technical requirements of their particular studio. Studio assistants are also workshop participants, and they'll have ample time for their personal work. So studio assistants pay tuition but receive room and board in exchange for their labor in assisting in that studio. Again, we'll open that once we open registration because we want studio assistants who are indeed going to that workshop to apply for that role. And those applications will be due on or near August 15th. Next slide. Campus life, just a little overview for folks who may have not been before. It's at Bennington College, which is a small New England college. And it's, you know, you'll be immersed with a community of artists. There's meals in the dining hall, evening faculty lectures, cozy shared living room at the end of the day, or you can go back to the studio after dinner and work late into the night. The college students are not there during that time. They're on their winter break, so we have the place all to ourselves. Our housing is private rooms with single beds and shared bathrooms, dorm style living. There's a shared living room in each house and a small kitchen. The dining is 3 meals a day served by the college dining service, and there's vegetarian, vegan, and gluten-free options. We also offer yoga twice a day in the morning and the evening. Tracy Penfield is our yoga instructor, and she does mindful moving, and anybody's encouraged to participate in that. There's no extra fee, and you can come to just a few or all of them, however you wish. Next slide. Just a lovely picture of Bennington in the winter, very warm and inviting, but beautiful. And then our cancellation and refund policy. All the information is here. We've given a lot of thought to this, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. And we need to best ensure the health of all our participants and at our workshops, and our responsibility to be mindful of the costs and risks to North Country. So as I said before, the $150 deposit and the application fee are non-refundable. For registrations canceled on or after December 15th, we have to retain the tuition fee. On or after January 15th, 2023, we retain the full tuition, room and board. So there's no refunds after the date. This is because we're obliged to pay our costs to Bennington and to our faculty at that point. With that in mind, we do know that people get sick for a variety of reasons, and we want you to stay home if you're sick. So cancellation after those above dates, before those above dates, you're fine. After the above dates, for unexpected illness or medical issues, we just need those to be verified by a medical professional, and then we'll give you credit for our next conference, which is currently scheduled for January 2025. We encourage you to reach out to us at any time should you be having any issues. Of course, if North Country cancels the conference for any reason, we'll inform participants as soon as possible and provide a full refund of tuition, room, board, including our deposits and applications fees. And so we hope that this provides some comforts insurance in applying to North Country Studio workshops. With that, it makes us think about our COVID policy. And this is really based on Bennington. For the health and safety of our community, we will require that all participants, faculty, staff, and guests follow the COVID-19 protocols set by Bennington College. So this includes that all participants, faculty, staff, and guests show proof of having been fully vaccinated against COVID-19 or have a qualified medical or religious exemption prior to the arrival on campus. Fully vaccinated is currently defined as having 2 initial doses and 1 booster. Any updates to the COVID-19 policy, including any required testing, masking, or social distancing, will be communicated with all participants, faculty, and staff and guests prior to the conference. As many of you may have seen over the past few years, colleges have had to really be at the forefront of balancing how to deal with COVID. So we do expect that there'll be changes to these policies. we're hopeful that we won't have any additional restrictions, but we obviously have to obey our hosts' policies, but we will be right on top of it, and we'll be giving folks the information as soon as we have it. So that's where it stands right now. And anytime we learn more, we'll give that to our participants. Next, and I think last slide. Yeah. So as I said over and over again, contact us, contact us, contact us. We're really happy to hear from you. Our webpage is ncsw.org. We have a lot of information on there. We'll probably be adding a few more things over the coming weeks, but it is really quite well stocked right now with all our information. You can always reach out to me. Again, my name is Victoria at director@ncsw.org. Jessica is our administrative assistant, and she kind of just knows everything that's going on. So you can reach out to Jessica for just about anything, definitely general questions, but she'll always point you in the right direction. She also has contact with our liaisons and our faculty, so she might be good for some of those questions. She's at info@ncsw.org. And Jean, our registrar, is at registrar@ncsw.org, and she obviously is somebody you'll be in contact quite a bit as you go through the registration process. Our mailing address is there should you need it. That's also on our webpage. We also have a telephone number. It only receives messages. We all work remotely. We don't have a central phone, and we'll return your call within roughly 2 working days. And I say that just because it's not lively monitored, that phone. And I wouldn't want somebody to call with an emergency. Honestly, if you're trying to get in touch with one of us, I would send an email first and then maybe set up a time to chat if you want to have a phone conversation. Also, you can follow us Instagram, Facebook. You can sign up for our e-newsletter on our webpage. And I think that about covers it. I know it's a lot of information. Don't expect anybody to remember all of it, but let's go and see about answering some questions. We're happy to have you do the raise the hand if you have a specific question. I know Joan's been busy in the chat as well. And if you see anything in there that I should answer, Joan, or somebody else can answer, feel free to speak it out to us.
We have a question about the faculty art show and the silent auction, if they're happening.
They will be happening. They will be happening. It's something the committee will be diving into in the next few months. But right now, we don't have any great expectation for them to change in any dramatic way this year. So yeah, for those who might not know, at the event, we have a faculty art show. And we sell their pieces there. And we also have a silent auction as well that kind of goes through the entire week. And folks get to walk away with a lot of great stuff from that as well. And like I said before, the funds from that go to our North Country Studio Workshop scholarship. So it kind of helps fund the next round as well. Yeah. Any other questions?
I don't think so.
Wow.
I've been answered. So Polly has a question. Polly.
Go ahead, Polly. You're on mute.
Polly, you're on mute.
No. So there are a few of us on the screen that have been around for a few decades. And one thing that I can tell you, if you haven't, you will meet your best friends forever at this conference. 65% of us go back every season, which is quite a testimony. So I just want to make sure people get that part of it.
Yeah, thank you, Polly. That's fantastic.
I wanted to point out that some of the materials lists have been uploaded to the website. There's a couple that we're still finalizing, but those will be up in the near future. If you have any questions about potential materials that you have questions about that are on the list, I can definitely get you in contact with the liaison. And again, that is an estimated materials fee that's on there. With inflation and all the things going on in the world, we never commit to anything. So please reach out if you have any questions about that, but there are a couple that I have not uploaded yet. So they are coming in the very near future.
Thank you, Jessica. Jean, I see you have your hand up.
Yeah, Polly and I both have spoken up in the chat, but registration does open at noon on June 15th.
Yes, thank you
Just
for
want to
pointing that
confirm
out.
that.
Yes, we instead of having it go live at midnight or something like that, we thought we'd give everybody a break and let it be noon, so nobody has to set their alarm too early or anything like that. So yes, noon on the 15th of June is when registration will open. But again, scholarships are open now, and the applications for that are due June 6th. So I really encourage folks to apply and to share that with anybody you know.
So I also want to add that the brochure went to the printer today.
Yes, so that will
Right.
be in the mail shortly.
Yeah, within the next 2 or 3 weeks latest.
Yeah, so if you're on, if you've come before, you'd be on our mailing list and you would receive that in the mail. Yeah, Jean.
Right. So just speaking of the mailing list, if anybody is passing on information about our conference, which is an exciting conference, like Polly said, it's pretty special. You know, get their name to us and pass on our information.
Yes, thank you for that. Thank you. Any other questions? About anything, really. It can be very open-ended.
This is Adele, and
Yeah, hi, Adele.
I just want to say hooray for 2023. I am so excited. So thank you guys for working hard. I know how much time and effort you put into it, and we certainly appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thanks so much, Adele. Yes, we're
See you
really
there.
happy. That we're
Yes,
moving
you will
forward.
see me.
Yay, that's great news too. Yes, it's great that you'll be there.
Okay.
Yeah, anything else? You're such an easy group, everybody.
If we want
Yeah,
to find out more about a particular workshop, what's the best way to do that? Because the
yeah.
sessions aren't of necessity short, but
Yes, those by necessity are short. That is correct. So if you wanted to find out more about a workshop, you could reach out to us. I mean, you could tell us right now, we could get back to you, but you could always reach out to us, and we, the 4 staff aren't experts in every single medium. So we have liaisons who volunteer as part of our planning committee, and they are working one-on-one with those faculty. So what we would probably do if we couldn't answer the question, would reach out to them, and they could really field those questions for you and go really deep, because there are also people who would work in that same medium as well. So they would know all the lingo and stuff better.
Does the website include each
thank you.
artist's email, website, I mean?
If they have a website, I've linked them. There
Yeah.
are a couple people that don't have websites that they gave us permission to link, or they're not, I guess maybe they're not updated or current. So the ones that I've gotten permission to link, I have linked.
Right.
And that should be under their personal photograph. There should be a link, and each page I set up the same way, so they should be in about the same place in each page.
Yeah.
And those would give you more info on that artist, but when it comes to the workshop itself, I would still reach out to us and we could connect you with that liaison, because the faculty are really designing their program specifically for North Country, because we've helped them understand who our participants are and what the environment is like and what everybody's looking for. So it may not be fully reflected. You'll get a sense of their work for sure and their experiences, but for the specific North Country workshop, reach out to us and we can answer those questions.
Right.
Teresa.
I just wanted to say, as a liaison, I'm in constant contact, particularly at this point, with my faculty, which is Clay hand building, and she's very quick to respond, which is great because we've developed a relationship over the last month or so. itemizing materials that she needs us to provide and materials that she wants students to bring. So she's accessible, and I can be like, I would be the go-between, somebody who would have a question for Lynn Duryea. And whatever workshop you're interested in, there's a liaison that has been in contact and communication with her faculty. So don't hesitate to ask, the question that you have.
Emily, did you want to ask the question, or is it too in-depth?
Well, I'm in that stage of trying to figure out which one I want to sign up
Yeah.
for. And
Yay.
traditionally I've been to all the sculpture ones.
Yeah.
But I won't work in cement because it's environmentally terrible material. So from the creation of it and the working with it.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out these paper and boxes, and I don't know, it's kind of fun. So I'm gonna figure out the questions and ask. But that's
Okay.
part of fun because I'll explore some new things. And
For sure.
it was COVID, so I learned how to play with paper. So
Oh, exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's another great thing about our liaisons is even if you just want to explore the idea of a workshop, they'd be great folks to chat to just about their experience, say with paper and workshops at North Country as well. They might help kind of steer you one direction or the other as well.
great.
I
Thank
have personally taken the box making workshop at Penland. So feel free to ask me about that one.
you, Polly.
Well,
And I'm the liaison for that as well.
Perfect. And I think that, so in the past, that's why we put the materials list up as soon as possible. If there are things that, if it's a new medium that you're kind of exploring, if there's certain materials that you don't have or you have questions about, that's where the liaison comes in, and is a really great resource in either, sometimes the class will come up with, there's personal emails that after registration are shared, and that they can kind of source materials and kind of come together and figure out that there's enough for everybody to share of a certain tool or some sort. So there's definitely ways, and we want everybody to feel like they can come and experience and try new things. So please don't be shy to reach out.
Fantastic. Any other questions? Everybody know what they want to sign up for already, besides Emily?
It's such a hard choice,
Right?
I've gone back and forth between a few, and I've actually stepped out of my own medium a couple of times. I'm a clay artist, but last time I did 3D fiber with Mo Kalman, which was wonderful. And then a time before, I worked with Lisa Pressman in caustic. So sometimes it's great to stretch your wings, and other times it's great to be in your comfort zone of the material you're familiar with and what you work with.
Fantastic. Well, again, you all are a very easy audience, not a lot of questions. If people, just because I'm new, if people are willing to, could I have a show of hands of those who have been to North Country before? Oh, goodness.
That's a lot of hands.
So pretty much almost everybody. Hi, Adele. So fantastic. So people really know the program, and we're really happy to see you back, and that you're still excited even after our year hiatus. We can't wait to see everybody in person. Again, things are fairly similar to the past years with those few tweaks, like the scholarships and registration being all online. It was mostly online last time. But please, again, reach out to us, really with anything. No questions too small for us. You're not bothering us. We're all part-time, so we're not the quickest to respond, but we get to you. I mean, we're not slow either, but we're just not at our desks 40 hours a week. but yeah, let us know. And if you go to try something and it's, something's not clear to you or anything like that, again, reach out right away. We're really happy to help. That's what we're here for. And also spread the word. Would love to see some new faces. Would love to get those scholarships out into the world. We're really excited about those. And, that's really what's going to help us keep North Country moving into the future is every time just getting a few new faces coming in and sharing this wonderful organization that really I think all of you have probably helped to build. So thank you all for that. So